fasten your seatbelts and get ready to listen to Sophya Vershinina. Welcome up, Sophya, with all the love. Great to have you here.
Hi everyone, I'm Sophia and I'm from Russia. We're the biggest country in the world and we have a lot of freshwater reservoirs, such as, for example, lakes. So that's why the theme of my research was bioorganic substances and petroleum products in Pskovsko-Chitskoye Lake during this period of time. So surface and underground waters are exposed to anthropogenic and technical impact. Pskovsko-Chitskoye Lake is characterized as eutrophic one. Eutrophication is natural process of aging of the lake and characterized by larger supply of nutrients and high content of organic matter. Eutrophication to the certain extent increases the productivity of the freshwater reservoirs, but the pollution caused by the dumping of toxic substances suppresses the biological productivity of the lake. However, even at low levels, it can be possible to isolate them from the bottom sediments accumulated in the previous decades. So here is the Pskovsko-Chitskoye water body, and it's the largest freshwater reservoirs in Europe and ranks fourth in the area. It differs from other temperate zone lakes by its shallow, high eutrophication and unique fishing productivity. Off the east coast of Pskovskoye Lake, there are a group of 3 islands that are object of tourism. Main reason of acceleration of eutrophication process is an increase of phosphorus contained in the water and change of ratio of total nitrogen to total phosphorus that can lead to such negative phenomena as, for example, overgrowing, flowing, oxygen starvation, or fishing kills. Bioorganic substances include compounds that are waste products of various organisms and also building material for other living organisms. So nitrogen is one of the main nutrients that are compounds of tissue of any living organism. And in natural water, nitrogen is presented in 2 forms, organic and inorganic. The main sources of nitrogen in natural waters is decomposition of dead living organisms, fixation from the air, or in vitro secretion of aquatic organisms. Phosphorus is the most important indicator of trophic status of natural water resources, and as soon as content of phosphorus compounds is subject of significant seasonal variations, it depends on the intensity of photosynthesis and bioorganic oxidizability. Ferrum is, it's the most common element in the world, and since it exists in 2 forms, it's ferrum +2 and ferrum +3. Accurate result we can be determined by obtaining only total iron. Chemical oxygen demand is an indicator that characterizes the total content of organic substances by the amount of chemically bound oxygen spent to oxidation. It can be determined in bichromate and permanganate methods. So here is our experimental part, and during our experimental part we determined nutrients using photometric and tetaphotometric methods. They are based on combined law of light absorption that you can see here, and where optical density is directly proportional to molar coefficient of absorption, thickness of the adsorption layer, and also concentration. Here is also our experimental part. Phosphate ions in environment with molybdate ions that can cause formation of phosphoromolybdenium heteropolyacid. And you can see it in the standard solution scale. So we used it to determine phosphate ions. During determination of total iron, formation of cationic complex with orange-red orthophenantraline is going on. And you can also see the standard solution scale that helped us to develop this. Here you can see the summing up of all of our results that we can determine during this research, but I want to concentrate on the total iron. As you can see it in the graph, this red line, it's kind of normal weight of determination total iron, but you can see the difference in that line. So we spotted that total iron exceeds maximum permissible concentration in 4 times, so it's 4 times higher than it should be. And it's not so good for fishing lakes, such as Pskovsko-Chudskoye Lake. So what we did, we talked to authorities that we can do something with that, we can improve our environment, and yeah, we have a result. They improved the wastewater treatment plant. That's why I'm here, and I'm very glad to stand and present this project for you. So I'm very glad that I helped our environment to be better, and you also can do it, guys, and please do. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much. High five to you. How did you say thank you in Russian?
Спасибо.
Spasiba. That I heard before. Spasiba. Can everyone say spasiba in 3? 1, 2, 3. Spasiba. That's good. And it went too quickly. Okay, you ready on 3? Spasiba. 1, 2, 3. Spasiba. That's good. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you for coming all the way here. And the environment, yes, that's important. One more applause. Thank you so much.